Hello, and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, I don't have anything to talk about, but do you have anything to talk about?
It's just something that's been on my mind over the past week.
How so? How serious we talking here?
Oh, pretty serious.
Okay,
There's this thing going down about, today is Mother's Day.
Correct. The recording date is Mother's Day. Paid
Mo-
respect to the matriarchy of the house.
That's right. Happy Mother's Day to the matriarch. Happy Mother's Day to Miss Frances Juanita.
Yep.
And Miss Dudley.
Mm-hmm. Happy Mom's Day to all the people.
Happy Mother's Day. No, it's just that there was a politician.
Oh no. What happened now?
Did some tweet, made some public remark about
Women be shopping?
Happy Birthing People's Day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Didn't say woman.
Didn't say mother.
Didn't say mother.
Didn't say father.
No.
Didn't say anything. Just complete, total dumbassery neutrality. Happy birthing People Day.
People Day. Now,
5 stars.
I could expand on that.
How pissed was everyone?
Well,
how much of a hitstorm did that stir up?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because everybody is like, this news source. I mean, you're in that constant battle of, do I believe how this is being spun?
Sure.
Because in my mind, I can't fit any reality where
we have to do that.
Where a person,
yes,
who was born sans penis, and has had 2 children exited the area of sans penis. And there's also I don't know how advanced, but also in the description of the picture I was staring at also said that said person is also a nurse.
Oh God!
So I can't grasp the
It's not the reality; it's a delusion.
So it's like Back to the Future 2. At this point in time, a tangent skewed off into the current timeline that we're personally at. We have to go back to blank
in order to fix the problem. This actually kind of coincides just a tiny bit with. I saw some heavy duty earlier this morning. I got an ad from the official YouTube channel of the CIA. The CIA officially has a brand spanking new, already monetized YouTube channel.
Oh, let's see those jokers get canceled.
Oh. I'll get to that in a bit, but no. There was this freaking ad where, alright, now, however people feels about the CIA, spy network.
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison.
But
seriously.
It's all poison.
But it is poison. That's basically the CIA in a nutshell. It's like, you can talk about the fact it's a spy network, the assassinations, possible torture camps. I say that, for legal reasons, that is a joke.
Hey, it's all completely made up.
Yeah, completely.
Every word.
Yeah, every word. Same goes for every other country on the planet.
Which makes you question, here's the thing. Which makes you question the credentials of the person who is creating all this disinformation.
Exactly.
All this untrue stuff.
All this doublethink talk.
Yes, but what gets me about their lack of quality
Yes.
would be that they keep writing the same story over and over.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a besmirchment of obvious and irreconcilable levels. However, it's the same freaking thing over and over and over.
Be original.
Oh, there ain't no original because that's.
I'm just saying
that's
that
what
if
they're allegedly. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Noted
allegedly.
For, allegedly noted for.
Yeah. It's always a suicide.
Really?
Yeah, really? You couldn't say he tripped or something? No, he shot himself in the back of the head twice and it's ruled a suicide. Okay, Chief.
Next.
Yeah, next. Anyway. This is why people leak shit onto the internet anonymously on, like, the dark web and stuff, because they don't want the CIA or somebody else tracking them down to extradite the rest of that information, but anyway.
I can't understand the idea of someone who thinks anything is anonymous anymore.
Exactly. No, you could probably get pretty anonymous if you...
You know how advanced you have to be to get around.
But that's the problem.
I mean, you have to be one of them hardcore brothers.
Yeah, you gotta be that hardcore hacker type, you know. But basically,
if they ever stood up straight, they'd be 6 feet tall, but they're 4 feet tall from being in a chair humped over a keyboard all the time. Yeah, that's what you got to be.
Got to move location frequently. Have all of the VPNs, all of the.
You are the troll, literally.
Yeah, literally under the bridge. The bridge being the regular internet, and the under the bridge being the dark web. Surfing on the Tor, but I don't want to get into that just in case that is sensitive to YouTube's faculties.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this fucking ad for the CIA.
Allegedly.
No. This is real. You can pull YouTube up on your phone right now and watch this.
I will not.
I don't blame you, because I watched this on a third party. Someone was reacting to the ad, so I didn't even watch it on their official channel. I'm that paranoid.
Good job.
Yes. I let someone else take that bullet. Yeah, exactly. So basically, what this has got to be the look. It was like an ad. It was like an ad to garner good PR for the CIA. I know, listeners. He's got that look.
Please repeat that. I don't think I heard that correctly.
The ad, was trying to do two things. When I saw it,
don't confuse me.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
All right.
Two things. One, it seems
is this in order of importance? Or?
No, just in order of. Can you let me finish? I'm sorry I shocked you right out of the gate, but we got to pace through this. We got to work through this one step at a time. Progress through this. Okay. The ad seems to be doing two things.
Right.
One, it seems to be like presenting itself as, hey, we're the CIA, we will accept you to work, we'll accept anybody to work with us. So it's like, hey, come work for the CIA, we're doing pretty fine, We're okay. Kind of like in Starship Troopers, where it's like, I'm doing my part. And this little kid in battle armor is like, and I'm doing my part too. He's got a fucking plasma rifle and everyone's laughing at him. That is the exact same vibe I caught from that commercial. Exactly. And the second thing it seems to be doing is trying to garner good PR.
Yeah.
Yes.
They took it to the chops for 4 years.
Yeah, they did. So that seems to be the purpose of this ad.
That's exactly what they did in the late 60s.
How so?
Exposing what the CIA was involved in.
Oh, yeah, with the MK Ultras and
I mean, just
other than that,
as
was there
an
anything
overview,
specific?
just involved in other matters, governments, and places on the globe.
You know, both heinous and experimental.
Level of involvement not important. Just there's a hand of them in there somewhere.
That's.
You never can trust how big or how small.
I mean, you can't even trust if someone says they work for the CIA. You can't even trust anything they say after the fact. They just let that loose.
What I'm saying is, that's exactly what happened in the late '60s when the left was rising. And the conservatives had basically the flip-flop of today.
Yes.
Today it is now that's interesting now because that's like what, 50 years. Okay,
yes,
let's just give it 50 years.
Yeah.
The culture has completely flipped.
Oh yeah.
Where you had at one time the rising you had the
rising right.
Let's go minority left.
Exposing
deeds of the CIA to now today the
left is propagating the CIA.
The left is now supporting. You see what I'm saying?
You know what?
And the exact opposite dynamic is taking place.
Yeah, honestly, at the end of the line, at the end of the road, it doesn't matter because whoever's holding the whip is the person they're going to do whatever they can to hold on to the whip. Sure, it's like in Game of Thrones, I guess. Well, back when it was still good.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. They're basically in this
good PR for the CIA,
trying to garner good PR, make it look more approachable.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry for almost making you choke.
How many different races of?
Wait. Give me a moment to explain. It gets worse.
Or better.
Or better.
Yeah.
It depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
Let me take a sip out of this wired can over here.
Can.
Yeah. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Hello, Agent Smith. Anyway, so now this chick has to be an actress. Like, they had to have hired somebody to do this. There's no way under God's green earth.
Oh, yeah, they always, that's what's so irritating about these commercials. They're like, this is an actual talk.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
Okay, I don't know exactly what...
I don't know how you quantify the whole not an actor's portrayal.
They will make it legal in some sense.
Yes.
If they're going to make that claim.
Yes, of course. But it's not 100% 100.
Yeah.
It is not 100% truthful. So they basically had this person, this chick.
Mm-hmm. What color were her eyes?
Brown.
I knew it.
Yeah. So basically this person is they're talking about how they are a first I think the script went I'm not talking about the words that the person said because it's obviously scripted.
Obviously.
So I'm just going to refer to it as the script.
Sure.
The script said that this person was a first generation Hispanic single mom.
Oh, cool.
Cisgender. They said that.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Multilingual woman diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and she is accepted and is thriving for the CIA.
Diagnosed with generalized
anxiety disorder, which is the exact type of person you want to be handling the assassination attempt.
Let me tell you something.
Lay it on me, nurse, doctor person.
In the history of the world,
yes,
the only people that have generalized anxiety disorder are people that are born with fingers and toes and 2 ears and a nose.
Yes.
Everybody
has anxiety.
Has anxiety.
I saw this.
If you have the money to go to a doctor, you get diagnosed with it. But if you don't,
you're just crazy.
You're just crazy.
Which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Because some people, take care of yourself, people, take care of yourself. Some people, some folk, they have more issues than others.
That ain't no broad net. That is the net.
Yeah, that's the net.
When You've got to cast a wide net. Well, that's the entire net right there.
Yeah, that's literally everyone. You know.
Yeah.
So.
But that's cool. I mean, you know.
And it's like, it is so fake.
And
it made me laugh. It would have made me laugh, like, you know, because it's like, oh, this totally could have been an SNL sketch when it was still good. I ain't talking about when Papa Musk was on SNL. Papa Musk! Wait, y'all can't see that. Why did I do that?
I know what it is.
Yeah.
They pictured in their mind.
Probably. For all they know, they just slammed a drum twice. Anyway, so... But, no, this thing was so freaking fake. It would have made me laugh if... It would have made me laugh so hard if it just wasn't so sad. I was like, really?
Did she have a scared look in her eye?
No.
Okay.
She was a really good actress.
No, I don't mean like that. It's like, okay, lady, you understand you're doing it.
Yeah, you're doing a commercial for the fucking CIA.
Okay.
And I'm just like, why did y'all have to do that? Seriously, you could have said nothing.
I'm gonna give my foundation just a little bit of perspective.
Okay.
Anybody listening to this, do yourself a favor. If you want to explore, okay, if you ever, you know, we've talked about how you've had the experience with American Psycho, the book, the movie, blah, 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 blah. If you want to explore, you think a person like that, see, you could catch those people out in public because they're all manic all the time. Hey, man. Hey,
yeah, they are completely,
blah, blah, blah,
they're
blah.
completely against the
Or they're
grain.
reserved.
Yeah, or they're too reserved.
Or there's a tick somewhere.
Eyes, lips,
whatever,
tongue, just a tick.
Even associations. Okay.
Yes.
But if you want to be scared, go read the autobiography of a gentleman that just passed, I believe, within the last year, Mr. G. Gordon Liddy. The name of his autobiography is Will, W-I-L-L.
I'm looking this up as you talk.
Will. Do yourself a favor.
Will. I'm physically typing this in.
Put G.
Yeah.
Space Gordon.
Gordon with an E or an A. But we'll do A for now. Will G. Gordon.
And then L-I space L-I-D-D-Y.
Damn it. Firefox.
Whatever that is.
I know what that is. I installed a bunch of security on Firefox because you can do that. Hang on, let's just search his name real fast. What the fuck?
Yeah, what is that? Oh, you're in that.
Yeah,
page.
This page. And I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Get rid of.
What's the title of the book?
Put L-I-D-D-Y.
L-I-D-D-Y.
Try that.
The autobiography of G. Gordon Liddy.
Yes. The name of it is Will.
Just Will.
If you want to see how...
G.G. Liddy.
Correct.
From soldier to Washington insider, from a prisoner who preferred the walls of a prison rather than... Wait, is this the dude?
Yeah, that's the dude.
Who survived solitary confinement by watching the ants?
Yeah.
This is the dude!
That's the guy.
I have to read this, because that dude is amazing and terrifying at the exact same time.
He is the person that...
That's who the CIA recruits.
Yes.
Completely high-functioning sociopaths.
CIA, FBI.
Everything.
Yeah. Him.
Those guys.
And he talks about other people in the Bureau that are like him, but have been able to harness their powers for good.
Bullshit.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay.
I've closed everything closed out the internet browser. You cannot tell me. You cannot tell me that once you figure out that you are essentially a high-functioning sociopath with the capacity to be Sherlock Holmes, that you would not immediately turn into Moriarty.
Well,
I'm not disregarding the people who do figure that out and go, I must figure out a way to be productive.
That would have to be nurture.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
If you had the same mentality, two people, same structure, same mental structure.
So nature.
Same nature. dropped into two completely different situations, two different styles of nurture.
Yes. They would come out different.
Well, they would definitely be different, but there is. I mean, if you think about let's think Rick and Morty now.
Oh God.
Let's think of all the universes that in that realm exist. Okay, so
bring back evil Morty.
They gotta bring him back.
They gotta bring him back.
Yeah, that's too good to let go. They gotta bring him back.
Exactly. Anyway, you were saying.
So think of that in realm of possibilities by different combinations. So sooner or later, you're usually the majority of people. Mm-hmm. You're going obviously 90%. Let's just say hypothetically, 90% are going to land within the middle parameters.
Yeah, the middle of the bell curve.
But then there's the extreme 1% on each end.
Yes.
That is where a lot of people's nightmares come from.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the type. That's the type of stuff where you don't want to be. You don't want to wake up one day and find out you're in one of those outlier realities.
Right. So,
like the reality where John Carmack destroys us all.
Going to support, if you had an active input into the type of nurture, let's just say like decorations that you would decorate your living room space with. Yeah. Okay, is it going to flow? Is it going to give peace?
Are you just throwing your shit all over?
Or is it going to be completely disorganized? Is it going to be horrendous? Is it going to be horrible? Is it going to be dark? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The light, the light that goes through that you receive into yourself, the eye. Is it a dark light, or is it in a dark light, or is it in a bright light? See what I'm saying?
Yes, I get it.
So if you arrive with that type of nature,
yes,
and are thrust into an extremely
like a dark nurture environment,
you
get Moriarty.
Then you get Moriarty, or you get Dahmer, or you get Bundy,
or you get Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Yes.
Now, granted, these are fictional examples.
That's fictional example. Absolutely.
But yeah, sometimes the comic book version.
People don't understand.
Some people they need the comic book version in order to get the point across.
You have exactly there. It is that, and if you look, freaking American Psycho is extremely campy.
Oh, it is.
It is. But it's not the whole thing. It is actually what Bales brings to the role.
Yes,
because he was
amazing.
He was amazing. Absolutely amazing. He was able to camp that whole thing up while holding it in the reality that makes you go, you know what? I know somebody that acts just like that, or says stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the next scene is like he has this fucking like laughing maniacally, and his face is blood splattered. He's like, Huey Lewis in the news. And he's killing Jared Leto with an axe. It's like, this is funny. I mean, in hindsight, what? Oh, your phone.
Me?
I mean, in hindsight, I think it's funny because Jared Leto is kind of a dick, and the fact that you get to see him just get hacked a bit. Well, you don't see it, but the fact that thank God. You can basically get the implication / actualization that he gets hacked to bits. It's a little cathartic in hindsight.
Yes.
That might be a little sadistic mentality, but hey.
Kind of killed the whole, tit buzz thing for those guys. I'm going to tell you right now. You're like, naked chicks. This motherfucker's got an axe and he's hacking them up. Man.
Like three
that's
scenes.
Not cool, man.
3 scenes later, he kills that chick with a chainsaw
it's
on the stairwell.
It's crazy. Yeah. You know what? The one question I have after watching that movie, where did they get all the plastic?
Probably the grocery store.
Covered all the furniture.
There was probably like a ma and pop shop somewhere in like Midtown.
Manhattan, absolutely.
Yeah, and like in like somewhere in Midtown. This was like the 90s where those ma and pop shops still existed. Some Italian run joint probably where they sold furniture.
I said Manhattan.
Yeah. It's probably like a furniture store. They just kind of walked in saying like, "Hey, we don't need to buy any furniture per se. Can we just buy the plastic wrap off of it?"
Can I help you, sir? Yes, I'd like
about 400 yards of the plastic.
Yeah, you just plastic. 437 yards of your finest plastic, young man, away with you.
Yes. I will pay you. I will pay you handsomely. Here's all the money in my pocket. I'm filming a movie.
That's right. Here's a large sum of money. Now go away.
Yeah. All right, Rick.
Yes.
Miss Rick Mayall.
Oh.
I never met him, but I wanted to.
Funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
I'm trying to think. But
American Psycho.
yeah, American Psycho, and then we were talking about the CIA doing propaganda,
Yeah.
which is probably not a new concept in hindsight.
I don't think I invented it.
No, I didn't.
I'm pretty impressed with myself, but I don't think I came up with that one.
No. Honestly,
Yeah.
if I was in charge of PR for the CIA,
Right.
and I didn't have a gun pointed at me.
Wait a minute. Let's quantify this now.
Yeah, let's quantify.
You did not.
I did not
You
say
did
that.
Not. All right.
I did not, for legal reasons. That was a joke.
Let's rock.
Hmm. So, under those very hypothetical circumstances, like
non-existent.
astronomically hypothetical, just a complete outlier, a fantasy. In this virtual reality that we live in,
Yes.
where this scenario takes place, I would just go full Starship Troopers.
Oh,
Just
Sure.
lean into it.
why not?
Yes, but the
We got people walking around and think they actually are raccoons.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
If you
Here's-
couldn't get something over on them,
Yeah,
you
you can't, because that's the new generation.
regardless,
Yeah,
if you can't suck them in, then
you're done.
you should cease to exist because you are in
Exactly.
effect. I mean, the story is that they changed the course of history.
Yeah.
If you can't pull in some
If you
extra,
cannot pull in the current generation, you're toast.
man.
So the reason why I would lean really heavily into like that Starship Troopers, really obvious propaganda type of display
Mm.
is for this reason alone. You see, about 50, 80 years ago, because it's like 2021, and
Right.
I keep thinking that 10 years ago was in the 90s, even though it's not.
No,
And that bugs me.
no, you better let that go.
I do. It's just every now and again it just pops up in the back of my head, and I go, oh, God. Anyway, so existential dread aside.
Calendars are overrated.
Yeah, calendars are overrated, but existential dread aside, just a little side dish. So, what had happened? What has happened is, sometime in like the 50s and 60s, 70s, maybe 80s and 90s, you could theoretically do what that commercial did, which is have a very respectable, obviously propped up straw man type argument,
Yeah.
a straw man type propaganda,
Sure.
a stand-in, speak to the common folk propaganda, and you could get away with it.
Right.
Even though it's obviously propaganda, you could get away with it because it's showing, respectability. We, accept only the finest, no matter who they are, where they come from,
Uh
which is a fucking lie, but
huh.
I'll get into, we probably won't get into that later, actually. That's probably a bad idea.
That's right.
Yeah, we already talked about the autobiography,
You
so.
can't make us do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Break out the car batteries, Rick! Sorry. Anyway, so, I'm not trying to kill you.
I know.
Yet.
Yeah.
Mr. Bond. Wait, that's MI6. Never mind.
Never mind.
So, here's the problem.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of research nowadays, about, psychology, mostly sociologists, obviously,
Sure.
and socio-psychologists, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, so you're just combining both spheres of thought into one field. Call it something else.
Potato salad.
Yeah. The potato salad. I have a PhD doctorate in potato salad.
That's right.
Mm. Yeah, so does my grandma. And you know it!
Sure.
Anyway, I'm not trying to stall. So, there's been several research and studies. Now, how well these have been conducted, because I've lost faith in science altogether. Well, not altogether, just modern research studies.
I believe in gravity.
Yeah, I believe in gravity, but
Everything after that, that's that
like
list gets shorter and
very
shorter.
short. It's like I believe in the black holes, gravity, the Big Bang to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Fire hurts. That's very obvious.
Obvious.
Trees exist.
There's one right there.
Biology is not a social construct, but I don't want to get into that.
No.
Nuclear waste in the ocean is bad.
It's bad.
And they're letting it happen, and I'm fucking mad. But
yeah, I can't get into that.
Anyway, we're gonna have Godzilla in about 100 years. I guarantee it. So, but after that, anytime I see like a main study, quote unquote study, or a survey being taken, or like a double blind study, or anything that was funded, there's going to be a slant to it.
Always.
On top of the pre-event bias that the Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance talks about.
Yes.
So you always have to take these things with a grain of salt, and I hate that because the problem with science, or the thing with science is, it is supposed to be the search for the truth.
Yeah, the truth.
You have to, you evolve and change your principles, because if that is what the truth is, then you have to believe it. Why? Because it's the truth. And people don't fucking do it no more.
They don't do it anymore because they don't study history.
They don't study history. They just prefer to stagnate.
Everything that we're going
Someone's
through.
purse strings are being pulled.
Embracing things outside the straight line is tangents.
Yes.
And anything that skews away from the average is a tangent.
Yes.
Mathematically speaking.
And
the tangent never lasts.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It eventually has to go back to that straight path.
It has to go back to the average.
Yes.
It just does.
It just does. That's just, that happens.
That's existence right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway. Basically, the study, it talked about how Gen Z, a little bit of millennials, but mostly Gen Z and later generations, it's becoming increasingly hard to advertise to, because they can tell when they're being advertised to.
Bummer.
Yeah, exactly. So
they've done it to themselves.
Exactly. So here's the thing. The context of this study was it's harder and harder for, say, like, advertisement departments,
right,
to and PR departments to actually make a good impression, because the internet, and they can physically go onto the internet, and if hypothetically said, oh, there's no war at this country, and they can go on like social media, like on TikTok, and they can see footage of tanks rolling into the Capitol. It's kind of a little bit hard to obscure the truth.
Because they got like some tan individual on a lounge chair out on the Mediterranean.
There's no war here.
Sunglasses on, holding a colada.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Woo!
Yeah, and then
let's get naked.
Yeah, and then 5 minutes later, someone can actually find footage.
I got pitched like that.
Yeah, and then
from a freaking Navy recruiter.
Yeah, exactly.
10 years I've been in, and I think all the women I said, dude,
you're in the Navy, you're gay.
You got pictures of your wife and your kid on your desk here. Well, don't talk to. I told you, man. Don't BS
talk to me
man.
Like that. Yeah.
I'm out of here. So I walked out. I was like, what, man? If I wanted
Air Force Supreme.
If I wanted that, I don't want to join the military, brother.
Yeah, if we're gonna join the military, it's gonna be the Air Force.
I'm just saying.
Sleeping in the dirt.
So the reality of they can't
lie. They can't disguise it. They can't lie anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they can lie, but the truth is literally a Google search away.
All right. Well, at least a different perspective.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go with that.
You can't hide anything anymore, or you have to be.
Not really.
There's like I said earlier, there's the dark web. The dark web. Dark web. I love Letterkenny. There's the dark web. You have people putting out videos on social media and then sharing it goes viral. You can't stop that. I mean, you didn't stop the beer flu, so how are you going to stop social media? You
asked for it.
Yeah, you have these projects online, like the Minecraft Forbidden Library map. Right. You have stuff like these projects online, these PDF libraries, where all of the books, or at the very least 98% of all the books, because, they're trying to get all of the books.
Right.
You have all of the books and all of the articles and all of the documents available at your fingertips. Forbidden knowledge. Like 50 to 100 years ago, this would be considered forbidden knowledge.
Yes.
Stealing fire from Olympus level of holy knowledge.
Right.
You can't hide anything anymore.
It brings up a very interesting point.
How so?
It's the fall of civilization related to too many people knowing too much.
That's something I've never really considered nor
just
was
came
taught.
to me over the past week.
Is that the other half of the conversation?
Well, I really hadn't thought about it, but that's the one that's been kind of floating around.
The fall of civilization usually follows when the average man knows too much.
That's a proposal. It's just something that I'm mulling around. It needs a lot of work.
That's fine.
It just showed up like 3 days ago.
Hey, it's a thesis statement.
Yes.
It's a thesis statement.
That's an oversimplification.
Sure.
It needs work, and I'm going to
We can expound upon it later.
I'm going to work on it. Yeah.
Speaking of things that need to be expounded upon, I have I have formulated my thesis statement.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, now, I know in the past several weeks, I've been, not so much on the podcast, but more so in real life, where I've just been mulling around this whole thing of, God is not this, he's not a magician pulling rabbits out of a hat. He's not a he, she, it. It's not even a he. It's not a she. It's not an it.
No.
It's a, I'm gesturing, and I know the people on the podcast listening can't see it.
Touchdown?
Yeah, goalpost. It's a cactus.
It's a cactus.
Goalpost arms.
Goalpost arms.
No. Here's the thing. You're talking about something that
term
is.
You see, yeah.
Yeah, this gesturing to basically everything.
That's why when you look at old sacred text, when they write quote unquote the name of God,
yeah, quote unquote,
they'll have like the beginning letter capitalized and the end letter not, but in the middle there's just a little hyphen.
Yeah,
because they're talking about
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole shebang.
Yeah, right.
Because,
and we technically can't.
You can't quantify because it's infinite.
We're finite.
Yes.
So we can't embrace what
is infinite.
What that word is.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it may be.
If it exists in our realm.
Yes.
So. Write it down.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do something.
It's going to be a test, I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly. So basically grasping this whole concept of, God, whatever that may be called in different cultures.
Sure. Yeah.
The boy.
There you go.
Someone's home.
Yeah.
So basically, it's this infinite force.
Yes.
I know you and I.
Force, cause, reason, effect. It's
infinite.
It's infinite. Right.
That is literally how we could quantify it.
Yeah.
We can't quantify it.
Can't quantify it. No.
So, you and I kind of believe along the lines of the deist argument, which is, this force, it set up all of the rules and the dynamics like gravity, fire hurts, trees exist, photosynthesis,
exactly,
biology,
yes,
and it let the universe run.
Right.
However, because it is a force and all living things emit, a force or an aura, if you want to be all metaphysical about it, whatever, whatever you want to term it. You know, this is why a couple weeks ago I was like, I'm probably gonna turn into a fucking Jedi, which is an actual religion in Australia.
I heard they got the swords now.
Yeah, exactly.
Saw that the other day on the big TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I always had this. So I had this theory of people talk about, the law of attraction, manifesting,
Right.
that type of stuff.
Oh.
Whatever form they may take, be it prayer, mantras and japa meditations. People, pagans will do the spell work. Some people, practice all that divination stuff. But basically just manipulating the energy that made the universe into something that you wanted to do or to tell you in order to proceed,
Give yourself faith.
Give yourself faith.
Sure.
In order to, I don't want to say manipulate because that has a negative connotation.
It does have a negative connotation.
And I don't mean manipulate it as a
guide.
Guide, yeah.
Guide?
Yeah, because manipulate is like, ooh, it's the dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
Ultimate powers!
Alright, lady, quit burning love letters in the trash can.
Yeah.
Do us all a favor and knock it off.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's that whole ritual aspect of it, and that's...
And hey, for some people...
Oh.
Yeah, people
and
do...
it doesn't just exist in pagan circles, okay?
No,
religious people get really ritualistic.
Non-pagan people get ritualistic too.
They do.
Catholic Church.
But you know what's so funny about the pagan rituals?
How so?
They all look like it's like some middle school play, I swear to God. Unless you're at the level of where people are actually engaging fire or blood sacrifice, allegedly. But if it's just people in a circle chanting, it is hilarious.
Well, here's the thing. I would rather engage in something like that where you get to wear robes than be in like a really stiffed up dress.
No, you're right.
Mass.
It's more like LARPing or something.
I'd rather LARP.
I'm sorry. That got away from me.
It's fine.
That makes me laugh.
No, hey, look, it's cool. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
That's just how some people are built.
True.
Some people operate that way.
No, they do. They do. And I'm sorry. I know. It dismisses. No, and I'm not being a jerk about this statement either. I do. I dismiss people.
You.
But no, it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And,
No. I'm not just...
That's like saying this person over here can pick up 50 pounds and this person up here, the best they can do is 25 pounds. Does that make them less? Not necessarily.
That's just how they're built.
That's how they're built.
No.
Okay, but, they'll have a different... Everybody excels in an application.
Correct.
So what you bring to the table. Okay?
Yeah, some
people just aren't taught to appreciate what it is about themselves that is so great.
Exactly. Let's take this to a more secular example.
Sure.
Say, like in middle school, and you're doing good in math, and immediately you go to high school, and the next step in high school is like not pre-calculus. It's like the fuck do they do? Algebra. Yeah. Right. Next step is like algebra 2 or something.
Yeah.
But you don't like algebra.
No.
Like you can't do algebra. And then this is actually what happened to me. I did algebra 1 and 2 freshman and sophomore year. Right. And then in junior year, they put my ass in geometry. And I nailed it.
Right.
I nailed it to the door.
Right.
Nailed it like the Romans.
Oh. All right, if this was Easter, I'd have to beat your ass. You only missed it by a month.
Yeah, exactly. I timed it perfectly.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Kids.
Fucking kids. Anyway.
No.
But here's the thing. The reason why geometry worked out better was because it was, yes, it's math, and I'm not good at math, but it was math with a shape.
Right.
I could feasibly conceive the numbers in my mind because it was attached to something I could see in my head.
What your nature
visual
worked with that style of nurture.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some people are better with algebra, these like really abstract.
I can't do it, I'm so dumb. No, it's like trying to run a sprint and you were born with one leg. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just you're not going to be as fast as somebody with 2 legs. It's just the way it is.
Not unless you're Tink Tank.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Cat Williams. Anyway, so here's the thing. Just because you're like 14 or 15 years old doesn't mean you're automatically built or ready for algebra. Sometimes you can go straight to geometry. that's just how you're built.
How you're built.
And hypothetically, if I took trigonometry instead of calculus in my senior year, I would have aced that too.
Probably.
Because, yeah, trigonometry is a pain in the ass, but hey, guess what? It's a triangle. And I mastered squares and trapezoids the previous year. But anyway, a better term would be like, you know, you have like a row of animals, and it's like, you have like a row of animals, and you're just like, you're basically judging intelligence based on, you know, the fact that, what was the thing? It's like all these all these animals, and you're trying to judge who's the smartest based on who can climb a tree.
Oh.
And you're a fish.
You're a fish.
There was I don't remember the complete saying, but that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
In terms of the ritualistic versus just kneeling down and putting your hands together or just bowing your head. Some people need this versus that.
I think, you know, that's a very good point.
Yes.
I think one of the modern issues of education failing is
it's too homogenized.
It's too homogenized. And they don't have, and I am in no way, shape, or form faulting the practitioners of that realm. Not at all.
We know plenty of school teachers. It's not them. It's the system that they're under.
Have the ability to, and it's getting less and less. The ability to.
You have to meet people on their level.
Once again, we go. You got 90% in the middle.
Yes.
And then there's that extreme 1% on each end.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that? So we're getting less and less able to cater to that outside 10% on either side.
Yeah. That outside,
and that's where innovation comes from.
Yeah, that's where you see the people who drop out of Harvard and they go on and like build.
That's where Benjamin Franklin comes from. That's where George Washington Carver comes from.
Papa Musk.
Thomas Jefferson.
The Zuck, if you want to quantify that.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
Okay, that's where those
outliers.
Those outliers
is where the change happens. I suppose that would make sense why they get neglected, because sometimes you don't want to change the status quo.
Well, and that's a big thing going on.
That's a big thing going on.
Absolutely, currently being, in my opinion, wrapped in a fable.
Yeah.
A false, a non-positive narrative. Yeah.
Don't rock the boat.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
People should know better, allowing themselves to be
corralled,
corrupted by unclean spirits. Ugh. Let's just say that. Take that, Dan Backslide.
Yeah. Just scream into the void. It solves most of my problems on the way to work.
While you're playing your favorite
Doom song.
Doom song.
Yes, I have Doom. I have Doom Eternal soundtrack on Spotify playing in my car.
Was that the one where the guy plays the chainsaw?
Yes. No, that's Doom 2016. This is like the sequel to that game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he did. There was Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Mick Gordon did the soundtrack for both.
Cool.
And I put that on blast every Monday morning because I need it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because sometimes you just have to scream all the rage out. I mean, my job's not... I don't want to talk about my job. I've done it enough already. But back to what I was trying to say. My thesis statement.
Yeah.
Okay, see, some people need the ritual, some people don't, and that's okay. Yeah. Okay. So, upon basically me researching and expanding my understanding of other various means of how people do their thing around the globe.
Right.
Hinduism, shamanism, Buddhism, Taoism, Shinto, paganism.
Top 10.
Top 10,
There's other stuff, but that's the top 10.
Top 10, yeah. Just going down the list.
Just in membership.
Exactly.
Going down the list. In no importance of order. Just basic membership. So many people be involved in it.
Yeah.
Makes your list.
Yeah, exactly. I want the truth. I want, because here's the thing. people think it weakens your faith by going off the reservation and reading other people's holy books or their holy scriptures or listening to their other religions, other sects of faith, their rules, their guides, their pastors, or whatever form they take.
Sure.
I think it strengthens it. Because, hey, maybe they figured something out that I might need, you know?
Right.
So, basically, upon this little, I don't want to call it a spiritual journey, because that just sounds, pompous.
And weird.
I would rather call it research.
And a phrase that should not be uttered unless you are holding a Starbucks coffee.
I don't like Starbucks.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I'm not white.
No, it's like...
We're from Florida. We have the blood of Florida man flowing through our veins.
That is true.
Last night, I told somebody that every 10 years we have to decide who is the new king of Florida. There's a picture online of a fucking steak knife in an alligator's head.
Oh my god!
And that's how we decide who's king of Florida. Is who's gonna pull the Excalibur knife out of the gator's head.
And then prep him and cook him.
Yep, that's how you're king of Florida. Every 10 years.
Deep fried gator.
Yeah, the gator. Oh, I wonder if that's on the training program. I have to ask my trainer about that. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. So I've kind of noticed something. There's usually two primary schools of thought. In terms of what I'm about to say. And it doesn't matter what religion, or whether it is an actual religion versus a school of thought like Buddhism and Confucianism. Doesn't matter.
Right.
These different schools of thought, where on one side of the fence it's what I call ascension.
Ascension.
Where we, the physical form, worst case scenario, the physical form that the physical plane that we're on, it's corrupted, it's sinful, it's ugly, it's dirty, there's suffering, so we have to move past it.
It's defined that way.
It is defined that way. It can be. Best case scenario is we must, be blankety blank in order to rise up to meet our creator, maker, guide in the hereafter, whatever.
It might be the driving force behind evolution.
Yeah. I would say that makes sense. Who knows? But basically, there's this concept of ascension.
Right.
Where,
we're constantly improving.
Constantly improving, constantly striving.
Let's try that.
Yes. So there's the concept of ascension, whatever doctrine that may take.
Not necessarily spiritual in any way.
No, that's just kind of evolutionary, but that concept exists. There's the ascension.
Right.
And then there's you don't really see this an awful lot. This is definitely more into that whole occult black magic tribalism type circles.
Yeah.
That I don't know an awful lot about, but, hey, guess what? If I find the books, I'm gonna read them, because it's a different perspective.
Right.
Not because, just because you read something doesn't mean you automatically believe it, you idiot. Don't do that to yourself. So, then there's the descension, where it's like, again, worst case scenario was becoming sentient was a mistake. We have to return to the animal.
Or we have to regress.
We have to regress. Yes. Where this is where you see stuff like tribalism will honor these animal spirits. They'll wear masks to personify this particular sacred beast that they hold, that they revere.
Which I see in a tremendous amount of current culture.
Yeah.
A definite regression to worshipping animals.
Yes. The golden calf.
Yes.
For an example. So basically, I have found these two kind of camps. Not necessarily spiritual. It definitely can be construed as secular, but you can I've defined these as the ascension camp.
Right.
Evolve, go beyond what we are, be it spiritual or secular, and then there's the descension. Unascension, camp, which is we have to regress, go back to the animal. Go back to monkey. Go back to crab.
You're talking about...
Go back to soup.
You're talking about an active participation.
Something like that. Be it active, be it passive, but basically you want to return to monkey. You want to go back to the soup.
Consciously aware of regression.
Yes.
Okay.
To, be it...
Just like someone ascending would be consciously aware that they're trying to
ascend, be a better person, versus someone else who is like, trying to regress.
All right.
Oh.
But they're consciously aware of it.
Of whatever path they have chosen.
Okay.
So there's these two camps.
Right.
And obviously a lot of the major religions is the evolved camp. The ascension camp.
Yes.
Because that's just, how evolution works. And you don't really see an awful lot of the descension except in pop culture. Some practitioners and paganry are kind of doing that nowadays.
A lot of paganry.
Yeah, but but it's not mainstream per se. It's gaining traction. But it exists. So you have these two camps, and this is the point. This is the thesis point I'm getting to.
Right.
I remember this came about when I read this line. I forget who said it. It probably is if I might have read it while I was reading something that was Taoist in nature, probably like Lu Zen or something like that.
Okay.
I could be mistaken, so don't quote me exactly.
Right.
Depression is focusing on the past. Anxiety is focusing on the future. And you should be present in the now. And for some reason, everything just kind of clicked. Now, that's not the exact phrase, but it just kind of made everything fall into place. Why can't we be okay with being human? Because one camp is we have to go beyond. One camp is we have to go back. Why can't we be okay with where we are now? Why is it wrong? Basically, I'm trying to say it is okay to be human.
I think if you look at people, you will see that that's the state, even though they can't lay a finger on it or define it.
Yeah.
It's that thing they keep looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are either spending too much time in the past or too much time in the future and not focusing on the now. And they're spending too much time in the past searching for that place. They spend too much time in the future searching for that place. Where the place is now. Exactly.
This kind of feeds into what you were talking about last week of finding the kingdom of heaven within yourself.
Well, yes, finding the kingdom of heaven, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form minimizing or anything about the next level. What I'm talking about is our existence right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the books of Moses and everything that has followed gives an insight, if nothing else.
Yes.
Gives an insight to existence that gives you the ability to find the now.
Yeah.
To find that peace of being in the now and not to have depression over the past or anxiety over the future.
Mm-hmm.
The Sermon on the Mount talks about it.
Which basically translates to don't worry about it. But.
Pretty much.
Yeah. To an extent. So that's kind of...
there's so many people that can be... I mean, if you, honestly and truly, if you choose...
Yeah.
You could be quite... you could be quite wealthy if you decided to cash in on that. If you could create a narrative either from a product or a service or an opinion.
Yeah.
That really emphasizes the past or really emphasizes the future, you see people get on board.
Yeah,
they will get on board.
That actually might be why I don't see an awful lot of people doing the being in the present, being focused on the now.
Yeah, and it's not I have struggled with it my entire life, probably in the last 5 years.
Definitely.
Which has been.
Yeah, I know.
Very beneficial to my relationships is the ability to at least consider the now.
Yeah.
And I've gotten better at engaging it and embracing it.
Yeah. Because whenever I stumbled upon people's interpretations of the laws of attraction and all that stuff,
right.
they would basically kind of either they would talk about it or they would tiptoe around the fact that you have to be present in the now, but you use it to work towards the future.
Right.
But you don't let it dominate you, so you're all consumed by it and you're worried about it. You're anxious about it.
It's a drag.
It's a drag.
Complete drag.
So that is, it's not a complete thought per se, and I'm sure I'm not the first person that came up with this, but it's new to me. This whole concept of why can't we appreciate the now? It's, basically saying it is okay to be a human being.
Right.
Right. If you want to go forward, that's okay. If you want to go back, that's okay. But you don't have to discredit where you are now. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Be it secular, be it spiritual, be it whatever. Just.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, and this does happen, growing up, when we look at the past, we look at things that have been placed in our past.
What, nostalgia? Or?
Well, not necessarily. The guideposts.
Yeah.
Where we ran into this and ran into that. And then in the future, ultimately, anything you think about in the future, you probably should project mentally as a tombstone, because everything ends.
Everything is either
those things,
inevitability, pointlessness,
but
nihilism,
at least
whatever.
you honestly and truly, the future is a fantasy, because you don't have anything concrete at all.
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
This. Oh God, that hurts my ears. That line, that Oogway, in the first Kung Fu Panda movie. Now listeners, whether or not you like Kung Fu Panda or not, this is basically the summary of what I just said.
I'm waiting.
Tomorrow, or wait, it was something like yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it is called the present.
Sweet.
That right there is all that bullshit I was talking about for the last 10 to 15 minutes summed up.
Yep.
That is the essence of being in the now.
Being in the now.
Today is a gift. Why? That's why we call it the present.
Right.
So be here now.
Yeah.
Do you think we could start a cult based on this?
Absolutely.
Look. I don't mean like a nefarious cult.
Send your money now.
Yeah, send your money now. Fund the holy book in progress. We'll put your name in the back of the book on the Patreon list.
That's right. We'll sell you a brick with your name on it.
Exactly. No, when I say cult, I don't mean anything nefarious like Jonestown or Gateway to Heaven.
Well, guess what? Nobody starts there either.
God damn it! That is brutal.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of these horrific things, not to completely segue away from whatever the fuck I just said, which I'm still working on. I'm still researching it.
We're working on it.
Yeah. I guess that's my own little way of quote unquote ascending, is doing research and talking with other people and reading other people's works.
Yeah.
But anyway. There's this big thing in the culture where people talk about serial killers, all these serial killer documents that came out, like the Dahmer stuff, the Night Stalker dude that you and Matriarch watched a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You guys sat down.
I remember when that went down.
Yeah. How about that, some bitch? I think they made like several documentaries on Manson alone.
And movies and
books and
I'm sure there was at least a
Once Upon a Time
morning cartoon show that involved some elements.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, all that fun stuff. So
right.
So honestly and truly, I don't get the hype. I'm not a person that enjoys watching stuff about serial killers because it's like
it's just,
I don't know if I said this on the podcast. I probably have, but it's usually the exact same story.
Well, there's usually two types of in my experience. There's two types of observers for that type of material.
Yeah.
The one that I am more familiar with, which is my place, and that is just a macabre curiosity.
Yeah, the people who they circle the gallows during an execution.
Yeah,
morbid curiosity. It's the same reason why I watch Ask a Mortician.
Yeah,
it's to satisfy this.
Like there's this mystery there. Obviously, is not a part of anything that I consider.
No, but
I'm just curious.
It's different.
It's different, and and a lot of times I'm trying to fit. Well, I quit doing that a long time ago. I tried, used to try to fit into my head how people could perpetuate such activities.
Sure.
So,
you got to let that go.
That's my camp. Okay, the other camp is people that give power to it.
And the people who just don't. These are also the same type of people who they don't have the balls to do it in real life, so they kind of have to live their dreams through this.
They think.
Oh, I know.
They're in love with an idea.
Yeah.
But the reality of it
is much more harsh.
As I can tell you from countless events I've been involved in with. Yeah,
Mr. ER man.
Mr. doing ER trauma nursing. The reality is, especially, see, and I'm in that generic, to work in an ER.
Yeah.
99.9% of everything that you get your hands on is within the parameters of my control.
Yeah.
This building, that door, that stretcher, these instruments, this is mine. They're mine. My control.
Well, you were the head charge nurse for several years.
What I'm saying is I'm just saying is there's a you need to
kind of like a concrete thing for you.
You need to fold it up and put it in an envelope. But when these types of things happen in reality, in home situations, out in public, those types of things, people fall in love with those types of ideas. Okay,
but there's too many variables.
There's too many variables.
Yeah.
Okay, you're giving a positive consideration to this element. That is without reality, and the reality of it, and it is bad because it's it's cleaned up to a point by the time I get my hands on it, but on scene these things.
Yeah, the first responders. I can't even fit in.
Yeah, those guys are messed up.
Yeah, they're messed up. This is why paramedics drink.
Yeah.
Because they're usually the first people on the scene, and they have to see the horror show.
So I give them their due on that.
Oh, yeah.
But, yes, you do scoop it up, try to stabilize it, and give it to us. And you're great for it. But, so the average person walking down the street, they get involved in that type of narrative, and they give power to it. Some people almost worship it.
Yeah, that's where the murderobilia comes in.
Yeah, where they got serial killer trading cards, and honestly and truly, there's an element of that, in my opinion, of people that get crazy on Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, I like Halloween, but
there's a headless corpse on the porch. It actually is Uncle Jed.
Yeah, it's Uncle Jed.
To grab you, whatever. I mean, who puts that type of effort into something? You know what I'm saying? Don't you have to go up and take a crap every now and then?
People go batshit crazy.
Scarecrow.
Well, yeah, people go batshit crazy over Christmas. So there's at least one person out there.
I don't.
It's the same level. It's the same level of crazy. Right. But I'm just saying, why is the Christmas thing more acceptable versus Halloween?
When you choose. And it's darkness. I don't care what
anybody
says.
There's a reason why on October it's called the Blood Moon for a reason.
Yeah, when you go to the costume store and you buy a Jason dagger, knife, machete, whatever,
and the hockey mask.
Yeah. Okay, you are encouraging. If you don't want to believe in the spiritual realm,
sure.
Okay. That's your business.
Yeah, that's your business.
But if you don't think that has some type of input, involvement, connection, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just having fun.
And that's cool.
Okay, that's cool, man. Why is there a doll's head covered in red, food coloring
No,
on your
it's
machete bob. You know, it's
yeah.
like, so they give power to that dark
Mhm.
slant. But what they don't understand is, just like light, there are beings of light that exist
And
there.
there are beings of shadow.
There's beings of shadow that exist there.
Mhm.
Where do you think you're safer? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're going to walk those streets,
Mhm.
you're going to walk them in light, you're going to walk them in darkness.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'd rather go down the middle.
Well, that's a choice.
Yeah.
But giving power to that dark stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like giving too much power to it. What I mean
they
by
give too much power to it, and then they raise their kids in that tradition. And it's
and it's like, ugh. No, what I mean by walking down the middle is my whole philosophy of talk to everyone.
Right.
You know, learn from every angle. Even darkness can serve as if nothing else, a bad example or a good example.
I remember the last time I was in a place I shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and you remember
I remember it very well.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do that dumb shit again.
Sentinel event made me go, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You don't need to come to places like this anymore.
Yeah, that's a learning experience. That's what I mean by saying I'd rather walk down the middle.
Well, I mean, I think some people take it wrong.
Yeah.
They're like, they think they're less of a person because because your mind, let's talk about the ethereal, the thing around you that guides you, whatever, is trying to...
Your gut, I guess.
It's like, it's like trimming a tree.
Yeah, trimming a tree.
Okay.
Trim the limbs off a tree.
Trim those dead limbs, those limbs that keep from growing. You got to trim those off.
Yeah, these are things that no longer serve you.
They no longer serve you.
So you got to get rid of it.
Okay. Now you got two choices when you get in a situation that presents with you that you need to make a choice. And there's some people going, you know what? I'm going to do this, and they'll go back and get involved in the thing that went south on them in the first place.
Yeah.
And continue to engage in it.
Yeah, and go down with the ship.
Hey, if that's your business.
Whatever, bro.
Okay. You want to be known for that.
Yeah.
You don't want to be known for the guy that was eaten by the bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure,
man.
That's cool.
Hey.
It's your decision. But that's their decision.
Yeah.
Don't drag me with them.
Yeah, don't drag me with them.
Yeah, that's my thing. So don't drag other people with you.
Don't give me heat because I'm like, you know what? Get up in the head.
Yeah.
I'm not,
exactly.
Do what you got to do, but leave me out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, the thing per se with serial killers, in my opinion, it's usually the exact same story. Either they grew up under these horrific conditions akin to a Rob Zombie movie.
Right.
And they just had no coping mechanism, so they just, they went out and started killing people. Or they always say they grew up in a normal household, like they were an Eagle Scout. Had a mom, dad, white picket fence, little dog.
Well, fortunately,
16 little dogs.
And
then they just snapped one day, and it's like, no.
Something.
No, they're not talking about something. You can't just.
No, it doesn't.
The odds. Now, granted, the odds.
There is
not,
like a 0.001%.
Yeah, it's not zero.
And they do get a lot of press.
Yeah, the odds of a perfectly functional family situation, however form that takes, nothing horrific, nothing bad. And they still produce this spawn of Satan serial killer. The odds are not zero, but they're close to zero. That is an extreme outlier on the bell curve.
Right.
More than likely, something happened that nobody wants to talk about.
Right, because
or something completely out of the control of the parental or guardian units.
Probably the biggest example of that I have experienced is the story of Ted Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have seen, I have heard and read and seen that some of the major serial killers that are male, and most of them are there. There's some type of. I'll tell you what I know about Ted Bundy's case, and there are applications to a bunch of others like Gacy and Dahmer. Well, not necessarily Dahmer. Dahmer's that's another story.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
But it is their mother being powerless
Mm-hmm.
because of the situation, the absentee father,
Mm-hmm.
the worthless male,
Yeah.
being raised by the mother being at the mercy of the currents, and being pulled in all sorts of different directions by those currents,
Mm-hmm.
and exploited because she is a female.
Mm-hmm. And that left an impression on him.
And that turned him into, I think, because this is the only way I can rationalize it is, I mean, his hatred of women that caused him to do the things he did to females, non-males. I think he developed a love for his mother based on the fact that it's like his love grew in time, but originally he was mad at her. And he was like a woman hater.
Mm-hmm. There's also the school of thought where he, in his subconscious, when that was developing, he kind of saw that as normal in the subconscious.
Right. I mean, yeah, and you do, and that's the other thing. I mean, he was intelligent enough
to get away with a lot of it.
Here's what put him in the death chamber. He was intelligent enough. They determined, and they didn't just determine it. You could tell by what he was doing that he was intelligent enough to be self-aware enough to know that the activity that he was engaging in was illegal.
Yeah.
Okay. If you
super illegal.
If you want to debate the morality of it based on his childhood, I don't have a problem with that. Okay?
It is Freudian, though.
Very.
But
it was the fact that he was aware that his activity was, I mean, they even arrested him, and after he got out of jail or got bailed out or whatever, he continued to kill. So there was a rational to the court's decision.
Yes.
And I would assume that they had determined that there was a rational mind involved making conscious decisions.
Which is technically true.
So
like
that
it,
is
what
like
it's measured.
Yeah, exactly. It's calculated and measured. It's not
It wasn't just this random.
I can't control.
Yeah, it wasn't like a random act of passion or anything like that.
Yeah, if you want to say that he couldn't help himself, couldn't stop himself, okay. But that still doesn't mean he doesn't go to the chair.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still going to the chair.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's,
I agree with that.
I mean, hey,
I
think that's fair.
Here's the thing. My whole thing with that is,
he couldn't help it. Well, okay, well, he doesn't need to have children.
Yeah, something. Okay, my whole thing is that we as mortal, finite beings don't have the ability to condemn or to bless somebody.
Ultimately.
Yeah, we don't say
true.
who goes to heaven, we don't say who goes to hell, because that's not our decision.
No.
But I will compromise and say, how about we have some pretty definitive rules on who gets to stay on the planet?
That's fair.
This whole thing of, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
You can't stay here.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that. I don't know why people have issues with that.
Yeah, like, you can,
It doesn't mean you don't get incarcerated.
Yes, at very least. Like, you get removed from the society, you know?
I mean, hey, if you want to, some of these vicious acts these people have gotten out too early and, committed another one, why can't we leave them behind bars until they...
Yeah.
aren't physically able to engage in such
Yeah,
activity.
like when they hit 80.
Something.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, that's kind of the main reason why... Now, I don't bring up... Anytime I talk about the death penalty or capital punishment, whatever people wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Whatever people want to call it. The main reason I advocate for it is, number one, what I just said, like, we don't decide who gets to go to heaven or hell, but you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here on the planet.
Right.
Get off my planet, basically. Some people need to get off my planet, for better or for worse.
Better for worse.
So that's why we have defined rules that say, hey, these are the qualifications that get you voted off the island.
That's fair.
Get you voted off the rock.
I think that's fair.
You know. So.
Voted off the rock.
You voted off the rock.
Who gets voted off the rock?
Yes. So, you know, take that however you will, listeners. But the other reason I would advocate for that is, hypothetically, someone gets, like, you know, life in prison.
Yeah.
Just kill them. Now that sounds harsh. Let me explain myself. That is very harsh and blunt. Let me explain. Here's the thing.
How about leave them a gun with one bullet?
No, because then they'd probably take a guard out with them.
No, I'm just saying. If you want any more food.
Get your daily dose of lead.
Ooh.
It's good for the cranium.
Lead's good for the cranium.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
There is a line in Shawshank Redemption that sums up this point I'm about to make.
Yeah.
They're talking about the old man, the bookkeeper, Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks.
He's getting released from prison because he'd been in there for like 40 years.
Right.
He's an old man.
He's an old man.
You know, he was a con. He was like a little, you know, con when he came in. Now he's a crippled old man. You know, with arthritis in both of his hands. Morgan Freeman's character Red says.
Right.
Morgan Freeman says this line, and I'll never forget. You know, I forget the exact wording, but I don't forget the line itself. When they say life, that's exactly what they mean.
Right.
You know, you become institutionalized.
Right.
You can't function.
Can't function.
And you can't really conceive yourself outside of those walls.
Right.
So when you give someone life in prison, they're not dead. You don't kill them, but you still take their life away.
Right.
They can't go out. And the opportunity for them to thrive and be somebody, maybe start a family, maybe not start a family, maybe start a business, life.
It's not impossible, but it's
gone.
Very, very, very rare.
Yes.
Yeah.
You take their life from them. You're giving them a slow death.
Right.
Inside of bland concrete walls, inside of a civilization, inside the prison industrial complex, which arguably is more dangerous than being on the outside for some people.
Sure.
You know, I've spoken with like former prison guards, and sometimes they'll tell me that sometimes, with the exception of the people that go to maximum security prisons,
right?
You know, the violent crime people, with the exception of them,
right?
You know, lesser crimes like, maybe, drug dealing, drug trafficking, non-violent stuff.
Non-violent stuff.
They end up being worse when they go inside the prison because now they're surrounded by the corruption.
Now they're surrounded by criminals.
Now they're surrounded by the criminals.
Who have no absolute standard.
Exactly.
So they're capable of anything. So
exactly.
You have to be capable of anything.
Exactly. So there are times when, prison doesn't become a reform. It makes them worse.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah, that's a...
So that's kind of why that's kind of the two main reasons.
It's been a point of contention between groups of people for a long time.
Of course it is. I'm not surprised. So that's kind of my main stance for the capital punishment. It's not because ooh bloodlust, woo.
Oh, I know, and that's exactly the way it's proposed.
Yeah, which that's not true. Well, for some people it is true, but not for most. I hope not.
Not anybody that comes under my roof.
Yeah, exactly. I don't advocate it because death. It's the age of the internet. You can see horrific things every day.
They got Confederate flags in New York State too.
No comment.
What I'm saying is there are people of a certain perspective all over.
Yeah, all over.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Geographic location does that have anything to do with it?
Not really. A little bit, but not really.
Not really.
So that's kind of my main. That's my main argument is you're giving them a slow death as opposed to a merciful end. Well, which yes.
I can see that.
Now, granted, the method in which the mercy is delivered.
Maybe if you gave them a choice.
I could see that because some people they definitely
and teach them a trade.
Yes.
Okay, if you aren't coming up for parole for the next 40 years,
Texas
can pick one.
Texas.
I'm gonna paint okay, you're going to be a painter and spend the next 40 years painting, and when you get out, guess how you can make a living?
You're a painter.
You're a painter.
Yeah. That's the whole point.
I don't get that at all.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel called After Prison Show where he talks about doing stuff like that.
I mean, have a freaking work on car. It doesn't make any difference to me, Bill.
Texas.
They
make you build roads.
Well,
in Texas.
Everybody knows that bad boys build good roads.
That's damn straight.
That's dang skippy.
I would be more comfortable if they gave them the option. Like,
well, teach them.
Yeah, or
educate them. Make them be civil engineers. I don't know. I mean, they're there.
Yeah, they're there.
What if you could get just as good? Think about all the people in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And think about all the resources that goes to keeping people in prison. What if you turned it into an educational system?
They wouldn't do it.
Some
the system. No. I don't mean the prisoners. I mean the system wouldn't do it.
Well, look at where education is going. It's going all digital.
So
but
you don't have
people,
an excuse.
I mean, hey, there's a huge movement which I disagree with. Putting guns in the hands of legitimately convicted felons and
like
voting. I don't like it either.
You get a blow dart.
What I'm saying is
you get a squirt gun.
I didn't put you there. You put you there.
Yeah,
Circumstances may put you there. I'm sorry about that.
That is the one issue in terms of in terms of gun control. I am pretty for that, where you don't, like, especially if it's a violent crime.
Violent crime, absolutely.
Now if someone had like
you
mental
embezzled at a bank or something,
yeah, something like that. It's like if if any
shade of violence was involved in what you got put in jail for, no. Period.
If you were just like selling the electric lettuce by the highway to like pay for your food, no, you can have a gun.
Yeah,
you can have a gun. That's fine.
I got a problem with violent criminals.
No dir.
But
anyway, so I try not to lean too heavily into gun control because I'm like everybody gets a gun, even if it's like a little itty bitty pistol. You gonna get something, with few exceptions. But try to compromise. Basically, we can't. I get it. As human beings, we tend to do this all or nothing type thing. But can we ascend?
Can we?
To have the ability to compromise with with each other.
You keep talking, and I'm going to sing in the background. Can we
ascend? Goddamn gnats! I'm not preaching. That's your jurisdiction.
Sisters, let me tell you.
That's your jurisdiction.
I'm not telling you to preach.
Just
talk.
I know. Basically, we try not to get too political.
Not too political.
Or at least if we do get political, we try to make a joke out of it.
Even on Patreon in the future, I'm not going to get crazy political.
No, you're not going to be
like... They both get on my nerves.
Yeah, both sides of the fence get on my damn nerves, too.
Crying out loud like a bunch of kids.
But here's the thing.
Fighting over a freaking Tootsie Roll Pop at lunch in friggin' middle school.
It's like watching two kids argue over a specific piece of brownie when there was plenty more brownies in the pot.
Plenty of brownies.
Yeah. I want that one. I want that one. There's other brownies, Charles.
The only reason that they're arguing is because both.
They just want the same thing.
But they do want the same thing. But the
application is different.
Application is they don't want the other person to have it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's where the anger comes from.
Ugh, it's annoying.
It's very annoying.
Anyway, but here's the thing. On the Patreon only podcast, you're not going to be like Alex Jones on Joe Rogan talking about the interdimensional alien pedophiles making pacts with Raptor Jesus and Hitler.
It's not on my list.
No, it's not on your list. You're not going to do that.
Really?
Yes. You're not Alex Jones.
No.
And I am so happy you're not, because when I saw both of the podcasts where Alex Jones was on Joe Rogan, it was a freaking religious experience.
I bet. Did he go plaid?
My dude, did he go plaid? The fact that you have to ask that question, the question is the answer.
He's going to have a stroke.
Yeah, that man's probably going to die in the next 5 years. If not from the stress and cortisol, it's going to be from someone else's bullet. And I feel bad because I genuinely want to talk to Alex.
It's going to be lead poisoning, all right.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
I don't know. They've kind of defanged him. Once they took down Breitbart.
Yeah,
They took down Breitbart because Breitbart was literally, out of the entire group, he was like the respectable one.
Yeah, the respectable one.
Then after that, I kind of lost a little bit of air after that. I thought that because it was so obvious what happened. But anyway,
whatever.
No, I think he. I
don't know. Maybe it's easier to deal with a lunatic.
But here's the thing. Because here's the thing. Is if he's crazy.
Yeah.
If they don't kill him.
Yeah.
He'll never stop.
Well,
he'll never stop.
But here's the thing, though. Wouldn't it also theoretically be easier to deal with a lunatic? Because you could just write them off and say you're crazy.
Hey.
But if someone is respectable, presents a valid argument, and cites their sources, and you can't really... It's not that you can't argue with it, but that's a little harder beast to tackle.
You can't reason with or buy a lunatic.
This is true.
Because he don't care. He or she,
whatever, or it, a dragon. I'm a dragon. Roar.
Don't care.
I'm still hyping this train up that I'm a dragon.
Might have to move to Canada.
Why?
To get dragon citizenship.
If I want dragon citizenship, I'll go to Scandinavia. I'll go to fucking Denmark and burn that country to the ground. My philosophy is burn towns, get money. Beat, motherfucker!
I'll be burned in the Shire in no time.
Yeah. And there's plenty of princesses to kidnap. I'll do that later. Anyway. And no, it's just I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. It's just different perspectives. Because it's easier to write off. Okay, now I'm gonna bring two names into the conversation. And if anyone's listening to this and they're trying to use this as leverage to cancel us because cancel culture is a thing, I don't agree with either. Yeah, I don't agree with these people, but I'm illustrating. No,
You can find these people's names on Google, so why don't you boycott Google?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Just because there's an association.
I don't agree with these people.
You should take these people out of your search algorithm.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah, anyway. Nerds. I don't agree with these people, but I'm just demonstrating an example. I can't illustrate because you can't see what I'm writing.
Right.
I'm not even writing anything, so. Alright, now. The blue side.
Yeah.
They don't like Coulter. But they write her off as a bitch.
Which?
That's not wrong.
Which is completely accurate.
Yeah.
However. Exactly what about being
a bitch
minimizes her perspective and application.
Well, that's what I mean. But they write her off and just say, she's just like this, she's this dried up old crow. No one cares. But then you contrast it with Melio.
Yes.
Who I can't pronounce his last name to save my life.
He can't even spell it.
Yeah, exactly. Where the fuck is he from? To have that last name, but whatever. Different conversation.
Ukraine.
Yeah, probably. Now I think this dude is a freaking grifter, and like I said, I don't agree with everything he says. But here's the thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Here's the thing. The blue, back when he was relevant, of course, the blue side hated him. Because it wasn't the fact that he was on the red side and he was playing for the opposite team on the ball court. They saw him as a traitor to the cause.
Well, they just hated him because he was one of them homosexuals. Well, they tried to say they're not biased,
but they are.
Then why did they hate him so?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because if he'd have just been, he didn't say anything.
If he didn't say anything,
he might have been a little more. Okay, if you took Shapiro.
Yeah,
Ben. And you made him a smuggy, smarmy, smartass.
He kind of is.
Not well.
To an extent.
There's a certain level he won't. And not because he's above it. I just don't think his vernacular allows him to get into it.
Sure.
Where Emilio,
very articulate.
On the other hand, there wasn't anything that he wouldn't say.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what's the difference?
Yeah, I get it. But that's the thing, is he is just kind of the same thing.
I traded to the race because for some reason.
Yeah.
You have to be a particular political ideology
in order to engage in this type of activities that you do. Another example of that is, again, I don't agree with this person's everything they say. There's a YouTuber called Blair White, who is if I remember correctly, a male to female transitional person, but they're on the red side.
Yeah.
Which has got to be one of the roughest things I had ever heard in my entire life.
Well, I mean...
But here's the thing. Blue Side doesn't like Blair either. Because again, apparently gotta have a particular ideology.
Right.
And political affiliation in order to engage in certain activities that they're not doing.
Card carrying.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so, again, like I said, I don't agree with everything these people said. I'm willing to listen... But I also have the option to say, you're full of shit, get out of my office. Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
So, it's annoying, because both sides do it too.
They do.
You know? People get weird, it's like if
both sides do it, and that's what gets on my nerves.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
people on one side, they're like, well, we don't act like that. Oh, yes,
you do.
For crying out loud.
You know, it would be, it's kind of the same thing where you like a fully functioning traditional familial unit, like a dad, a mom, two siblings.
You want to know how Cheeto Man redefined the red?
Enlighten me.
He gave them the ability to be smarmy assholes just like the other side. That's it. Now... The political discord is completely, and that's what used to tick me off. It's like these people over here are slinging mud, and these people over here, they're saying, "God bless you.
We are the better person.
We're not going.
We're going to be the bigger man.
We're going to be the bigger man. We're going to be the better person. Yeah. We're not going to do that."
Cheeto
Man dropped in and went, "Oh, you want some mud?
Dump truck."
Boop!
Roll out roller!
Okay, I'm not saying it was right or wrong, but that's what happened.
Yeah, and now we have two playground
now
schools.
Now everybody's in the dirt.
Yeah, now everyone's in the dirt fighting each other. It's like, dude.
And the original mudslingers are saying, "Well, we don't sling mud." Oh, yes, you do.
You've been doing it since I've been alive.
My God.
So
that's just ridiculous.
So now the political discourse has descended into two groups of children, playground school children, and there's no teacher
who can come up with the best line.
Yeah, there's no teacher on duty.
If you got the best writers, you'll come up with the best line.
Yeah.
And that's how you rule now. That's it.
And that's how propaganda works, which
that's
circles
exactly
back.
How propaganda
that circles
works.
back to the beginning of the podcast. I love it when we do that. All right.
Maestro.
I came in here being like, man, I made some dumb decisions last night. Now I'm just fired up.
It's magic.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
All right. I don't want to run the recorder out because this Blue Yeti, which it's not terrible, but it's not the best.
Right.
All right.
Back to the beginning.
Yeah, back to the beginning. Circle, Ouroboros, whatever you want to call it. All right. I'm pretty good. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Good.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.